Daniel Cormier reacts to Jon Jones trashing Tom Aspinall. Daniel Cormier believes Jon Jones is being too harsh on Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones has been talking a fair bit of trash about Tom Aspinall. So now is a perfect time for Daniel Cormier to get in the mix. A couple of weeks ago, Aspinall made the first defense of his undisputed heavyweight title, taking on Ciryl Gane at UFC 321. The fight was a bit of a disaster as Aspinall struggled early in the first round before suffering an eye poke that rendered him unable to continue and led to a no contest. In the aftermath, Aspinall caught flack from fans and fellow fighters over not continuing, but none have been more vocal than former champion Jon Jones, who called Aspinall a quitter and overrated. Fortunately, Aspinall has Cormier to come to his defense. When Jon Jones is getting called a duck, when Jon Jones is getting told that Tom Aspinall is the guy to beat him, he's sitting back hoping that something happens to give him a reason to go and downplay that, Cormier said on his YouTube channel. We spoke about it prior to the fight. I told you guys that if Ciryl Gane won, Jon would constantly go, "That's the guy you thought would beat me?" I don't know that finish isn't more satisfying to a guy like Jones, because now he can almost guess what would have happened, even if that might not be true. Make no mistake about it, Ciryl Gane was finding a lot of success in round one, more than many people thought that he was going to. But Ciryl could have either continued to build, or Tom could have completely settled himself and turned that around. Guys, that was a 4-minute round of a fight. They did not fight a long enough fight to really form an opinion. You couldn't really form an opinion as strongly as so many have. I think the reason they formed an opinion in the strong way that they did is that they've never seen Tom struggle at all. Jones certainly did form a strong opinion, saying he learned a lot from the 4 minutes of the Gane fight and calling Aspinall a one-trick pony that could only throw a 1-2 combination. And while Gane was in the cage with Aspinall more than his previous 4 opponents were combined, Cormier insists that this is posturing from Jones. Jones said in that fight he was able to pick up on a lot of his patterns, Cormier said. Again, guys, it was 4 minutes. 4 minutes! We don't know what the next 21 minutes would have looked like. We just don't. But we, as fighters, when we are watching someone that's a potential opponent or someone that becomes your opponent, you look for holes. You don't give them credit for the things that they do. And that's why I feel that the moment I started doing television in 2012, and I was tasked with calling these guys' fights and working at the desk and trying to be as neutral as I possibly could, I became a better fighter. Jones is watching Aspinall only as a potential opponent, so in that he's going, "Oh, that's bad, and this is bad." Well, he doesn't do this very well. Then he finds that one thing he can give him credit for, but everything else sucks. The jiu-jitsu sucks, the wrestling sucks, it's a good 1-2. But it's hard, because he can't turn that off. He can't turn off that one day he might fight Aspinall, but you have to look at it with a clear mind. But again, commentary taught me that, not me, the fighter, because I could never give guys credit before I started calling their fights. Maybe Tom Aspinall isn't what Jon built him up to be in his mind prior to that fight, but I don't know that we saw enough to form an opinion of his overall game in 4 minutes. It's just the truth. There's also the matter of the beef between Jones and Aspinall. While Aspinall has largely been respectful of the former champion, some heat did start to form between the two of them when Jones drug his feet about unifying the UFC titles in a fight with Aspinall. In the end, Jones retired from the sport instead. But he has seemingly enjoyed the turn many fans have made against Aspinall over the past couple of weeks, something Cormier doesn't find fair. Is Jon Jones being a little bit too harsh? Cormier asked. Can we really form that strong an opinion based on 4 minutes? Does Tom Aspinall not deserve a little grace? And are we reacting only in this way because we've never seen him struggle at all? And also, how much can you struggle in 4 minutes? He had a bloody nose. And I think because he had that bloody nose, it made people feel, oh my God, this dude's in trouble. Again, still 21 minutes left in the fight. I watched Khabib Nurmagomedov lose a round to Justin Gaethje and end up submitting him afterward and overtaking the fight. A lot can change between minute 4 and minute 7, 9, 15, 21, all the way to 25.